G'day YouTube, my name's Lance, welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, well, it's been bloody raining. Yeah, there's a bit of a trough come through and we've ended up with, look, just under, well, very close to 75 millimetres, and that came like there was 22 overnight and 24 the night before. And so it's been, look, about an inch of rain a day. And for the last 3 days, that's counting over last night. Looks like the sun's coming up this morning, but then I was reading the weather this morning before the weather report, and they reckon late morning the rain will come in again. So yeah, no use. When it's raining in the big shed here, it doesn't matter how many microphones and all that you got, you can't get the sound out. So we'll get the stew done, get in and get that sorted early if we can, and we should have a clear run. But yeah, it's 18, and got the singlet on. Yeah, it's a sneaky breeze comes in the back there, and yeah, it's not unpleasant. It's nice to have fresh air instead of sweating. We're sort of enjoying that. But it was a wet weekend, and I think Thursday, Friday, it was a little bit damper. It was coming through anyway. I mentioned last week we were going away this last weekend to go to Rob and Nick's wedding out at Mount Perry. So I spent the week, I got the camper trailer ready, and I fiddled with batteries and things like that, and I had all the seats and that out, and there was a bit of work I did on the electrics and things like that, which was mostly early in the week, yeah, even some in last week's stew. But it's working really well, like the charger's going good now. It's got 137 amp hour batteries, I think they might be, 2 of them AGMs. And yeah, look, they're sitting up on 13.5 volts all day. Yeah, it's going great. So we packed that up, had that all ready to go out camping. And yeah, we've got stuff in the fridge, and Jude went and bought wraps and, you know, a bit of bacon and eggs, all that for a camping weekend. And I went to my favourite grog shop. I got a new grog shop, Bob's Bulk Booze, and in Australia, in here. And my normal bottle shop that I go to, there's a little Avoca one that I don't seem to go to that much. I go to the Sugarland one, because when the young bloke's wedding was on, I went to the Avoca one and they couldn't help me with anything and weren't even interested. So I went to the Sugarland bottle shop, and yeah, look, they helped us. There was a couple of $1,000 worth of grog, and they'd give us bags of ice and stuff we didn't use they'd take back if we wanted to. And they just couldn't help enough. So I've been going there ever since, and that's a couple of years now. And but yeah, the other day I thought, I'll go and grab a couple of bottles and a couple of bottles of wine, and yeah, just Cab Sav, Jacobs Creek double barrel Cab Sav. That's a good brew. Anyway, that's beside the story, because yeah, my brother-in-law was up over the last weekend, and we went out for dinner on the Sunday, or was it the Monday? Anyway, days have just gone into a blur. So yeah, we went to Mum's for dinner, so I got some wine, but my Sugarland bottle-o was shut, and I thought, oh, just the walk-in part that I like to go. So I thought, bugger it, there's one just round the corner, Bob's Bulk Booze. I've never been there, so I went in there, and they said, have you got this app on your phone? And I said, no, what are you talking about? And they said, if you put your app on your phone and you become a member type thing, well, yeah, you can just scan it and get a discount. And I thought, and I normally don't root around with that stuff too much. And but look, nice blokes, and they said, we'll give you a hand. And I said, hang on. So I put the app on, and he said, yeah, we'll save you some money. And I thought, well, yeah, let's have a look at this. So yeah, I walked out with 3 bottles of wine. I got some Brown Brothers Moscato for Jude, and 2 bottles of Jacobs Creek double barrel Cab Sav that I like. Well, the Cab Sav, it went from $28 down to $23 maybe, just for being a member. And anyway, for the 3 bottles, I saved $17 apart from walking in off the street. So anyway, we were getting packed up to go away to Rob and Nick's wedding on the weekend, and so I whizzed in and saw them again, and I got carton of Super Crisp, Great Northern Super Crisp stubbies, and Jude likes that Brookvale Union alcoholic ginger beer, and so I got that, and a couple more bottles of Cab Sav, just in case I got thirsty. And so Friday the kids, I got all the fridge loaded up through the week, and then Ellie, Tim's missus, they had a wedding down Brisbane to go to, but it was Tim's weekend for the kids, and the kids weren't invited, so Tim said, well, he wasn't going, but Ellie said, oh no, she's bloody going, so she went down to this wedding on her own and left Tim with young Freya and his two other kids. So Jude said, oh, you want to come around for dinner? So they come around for dinner. Had a cook up, and they played Uno and had a few plonks and had a few Coronas to get through. And next morning we're getting ready to, we didn't have to hop up early to go to Rob and Nick's for the wedding, and they were live streaming it at 2:15, I think it was. And and Jude says, she says, I've got a bit of a bellyache this morning. So anyway, she had a bit of a tummy ache, and we sort of made the call. When you're not feeling good, there's no place like home, eh? So we thought, that's a shame. But anyway, we thought and there was some weather coming through, which we didn't worry about the weather too much. We don't melt in the rain. But anyway, if you're away camping or something and you've got a bit of a tummy ache or you're not 100%, well, there's no place like home. It's just silly leaving a perfectly safe home and and a toilet that you like to go camping. So we decided to back out of the wedding and not go. So and we watched it on the live stream, but they sort of got, I suppose washed out's not the right word, but they got quite wet up there by the looks, and I tried to hop into the live stream, and I watched it for a while they were waiting for Nick to get there, and it was just, there was no sound working much, and so I gave up on that. I might go back and have a look, because the live stream will stay there for a bit. I'll go back and have a look and see if we missed something, but we couldn't sort of, I think with the wet weather there, it was sort of a lot pixelated on our TV, so it might not, it mightn't have been good service or something like that. I don't know really. So anyway, so we decided not to go, but we thought we'd watch it, and we couldn't really do that. But it turns out it was probably a good idea, because it was rainy. Everyone was standing there in umbrellas, and they had like a little marquee up there, and then every night it rained, so we would have had like an inch of rain. Well, if it rained up there, look, it's an hour and a half away, and we were watching the rain radar come through, and looked like they were getting a wet arse and through the night and that. So look, it might have been a lucky call really. Jude's fine. She sort of come good through the day, no worries at all. And it might have just been, I don't know, something we ate. I don't know. Anyway, but that was a decision we'd made. So we had a weekend at home, but it was a rainy weekend at home. So no buggering around in the shed. Oh well, look, no, I did some buggering around in the shed, but I've got that much to do up in my little hoochie there, and it's just a mess. So I thought I'd put a little bit of time in up there. We have internet. Hey! The internet had been down for a few weeks, and then we finally got that booking that I spoke about last week, and we had to be there between 8 and 12, so I said to Jude, well, I've got stuff I've got to be doing at work there. Did she mind having the morning off? And she said, no worries. So I was messaging her, the bloke turned up yet? And she said, no. Next thing I get a call from this bloke, he's going to be late. So he probably didn't get there till, 1:15 or something like that. And then he buggered around for an hour and a half, and he hopped up on the roof and he put a new aerial on the roof, the antenna that picks it all up. And with the big tower over the back here, the last bloke said, I'm not going to point your aerial straight at the tower, I'm going to put it off so many degrees, and that'll help it all out. And I'm thinking, it sounds stupid to me. But anyway, he did it, and he knows what he's doing apparently. And So yeah, he said, oh, that aerial, he said, we'll replace that, and they put a nice new box on the wall. The box that I was telling them was dead. And he said, your modem's still dead. Your modem's no good. So we thought, oh, well, not to worry. We had a new modem coming, but it's over a fortnight now, and we still haven't got that new modem, so I don't know what goes on there. And so anyway, Jude was ringing me, and she says, oh, he's just about done. She said, how far away are you from coming home? She said, if you're only not far away. Well, she wanted to get into work and do what she was supposed to be doing for the day, so we did a swap around, and I didn't see the Telstra bloke, but yeah, she's saying, oh, you know, the modem's buggered, and he's done some tests on it, and yeah, we need to get that new one, but when the new one comes, yeah, just hook it up like this. And I'm like, yeah, all right then. So I got home thinking I had no internet, and anyway, I had to go and have a look at what he'd done, and yeah, nice new box on the wall, and there's all lights coming on and all that, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's good, and a new aerial on the roof and all that, and I'm looking at the wiring, and I'm thinking, that's not right. That wire, the main power coming out of that box, shouldn't go into the Nielsen thing, it should go into the other one. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, no, he's got to have it right. But anyway, got the better of me. And so I unplugged it all and I looked at it, and it was as simple as looking at where it all goes. And I took out what he'd done and I plugged into the bottom of the box and plugged straight into the modem, and away we went. Boom, perfect. So we're still using the old modem, and our account was like 25 megabytes per second download and about 3 upload, and that's why I couldn't really upload videos from home here. And the one at work that I use all the time, our account there is 50 download, and I think we have about 17 upload. But so I started doing speed tests, and I'm getting like 80 download and 17 upload here. Oh no, 10, around 10 upload here. And I'm thinking, wow. So I've been checking that every day, and I'm checking it up the shed here, and if I'm sitting in my chair in the shed, which is 230 metres from the house, I can still get around 10 megs download, and I think it's 1.5 or 2 upload or something like that. But right up at the house there, like if I'm just in the lounge room or in the kitchen or something like that and I'm doing a speed test, I'm often on 80 megabytes download and around 10 upload. So I don't know. So I've got a thing from Telstra saying, we've just checked your system out and it's working perfectly, bloody rah, rah, rah. So, and we still haven't got the new modem we're supposed to have that goes over to 4G if it all comes out. So who knows, but we do have internet, and it's probably better than it's ever been at our place. So even though we're only on a smaller thing, I said to Jude, I'm going to keep checking it, because I don't know if Telstra can just click onto us and wind us back to what we used to be, which, you know, got the job done for watching YouTube. You had buffering once in a blue moon, but not often. So, but yeah, look, it's great at the moment. And our internet was that bad here coming through our phones. When you feed it to your telly, it was all just pixelated. It was hard to watch because of the poor signal coming from the 4G network. So anyway, that's up and running. So I think my old mate Jeff, I don't know, he probably still hadn't got any. He's arguing with him, waiting for him. But anyway, yesterday, on Saturday, I come up to the shed here because we didn't go away to the wedding, and there was a couple of knickknacks on this engine for the club I wanted to tidy up, because I think it's in a fortnight or 3 weeks we've got a show in town, and I'd like to take it there, or give it to the president or someone to take there. I'll probably take the 135 in. And yeah, things like there was a pipe on the muffler, and the thread was that worn on the pipe into the head that the muffler would keep dropping over, and I had it as tight as I could get it, and there was just no more thread. So I had to thread a piece of pipe for that. It's probably 2 inches longer than the old one, sticks out a little bit, but look, that's fine. It still looks okay. I'd put a couple of shims in the big end in the bottom of the engine, and because they were saying that once it got warm it sort of nipped up, so So I pulled the plate and all off and looked at that, and at 90 degrees, so when your piston's up here and your crank is at 90 degrees, not straight up, not straight down, where you often set them, at 90 degrees, I checked it the other day and got the levers in and all that, and there's no movement there. So it may have just been too tight down the bottom end. So I've left that there. I've covered that up. I've painted the governor springs, the crank handle. I shouldn't have been painting in that weather, but anyway, I did. And the fuel pump spring, it needed a bit of black on it, I thought, to make it look better. So what we're up to with the engine now, the water leak. I had a water leak on a fitting that I'd forgot to seal, so I pulled all that off and replaced the hose. Probably spent most of the morning on the engine. Look, it could have been more on the engine, just little loose ends. I'm still to make the wooden box that I want to put on the end to put the crank handle in and things like that, but I can't get my head around wood at the moment for some reason, but we'll get there. It's looking nice. The main bar that comes onto the engine at the front, they've just got hooks over, so when you get to a show you can pop the hooks off, but I found trying to move it round, when you go to push it, it wants to slide up and damage the paint on the wood, so I may drop a little D-shackle on the end of that, so when you're pushing and pulling, it can't just slide out, it's actually held a bit firmer. So I haven't painted that pull bar yet. And look, it's just got two hooks and it comes and does a circle and goes back again. I have to paint it yet, but I think where the eyes come out the front, I'll probably put a couple of little D-shackles on that piece, so if you want to push it, you can, and it's not going to whiz around and bugger your paint up. So I'll see how we go with that. Talking to John the Tank Man Gilbert when I was down there, the water pipe that comes down, he said they pump water too fast and it just sort of splashes everywhere, so he said put a little bit of stainless steel, oh it's here somewhere, a bit of stainless steel pot scourer up the pipe, and I've also got some of that in the muffler now, since I had to work on the muffler, so that'll be interesting. We might give it a bit of a run later, we'll just see what the weather does, see how we go. Pardon me. Nicole that works for us, her bloke Indy, he was friends with some people at BLM, Burnett Land and Machinery in town, and when they sold out and become Format Machinery, they just went through and they just chucked book after book after book. And anyway, Indy got his hands on some of it for us. And it's his, it's not mine, but I've asked him, can I have a look at what he's got and perhaps scan them. So there's a few interesting things I've got to sort out. This is a Massey Ferguson 65 parts book. Now, it's pretty bashed about, but I think there's still some good info in there. Engine specifications for a 4318. Well, that's probably not for that engine, so that's probably for a 1085 or something like that. But yeah, that's the workshop copy of the parts book for a Massey 65. So I'll get that scanned up and back to Indy, which is, I'm pleased he lent it to us. Now what's this one here? Oh, that's workshop manual for 135, 165, 175. I'll have a look at this, but I do have 135 manuals and all on the Bundy Bear Shed website now. The other book he bought in was the 135 148 Tractor Workshop Manual. I do have this book, or a copy of this book, probably a later copy I think. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I do have this book on the Bundy Bear Shed website in the and on the Queensland Tractor Spares website in the technical section, so I probably won't scan that. He brought in the pocket comparison manual, and this was a tool that the salesman had, and you could say sell a, oh, what are we up here? There is a Ford 4000, and yeah, you could compare it with an International 574, a John Deere 2020, a Fiat 600, and so it gave you all the specs. So it was a salesman's tool at the time. I'm not sure how I'll go scanning this, as in all these little pieces of paper, how to lay it out really, but I'll have a look and see. Yeah, look, it might be, it's just an interesting thing to have a look at, if nothing else. And the other thing is a Massey Ferguson, because Indy's Nicole's bloke, and he's got a Massey 65 Mark II. And so we have a full workshop service manual. So workshop manual for that to scan in. So I will scan this one. I only have one Massey 65 manual on the website, workshop manual on the website, and it's the American built tractor, or the American model. Pardon me. And they have like a Perkins gasoline engine in them and things like that. So this is more like what we have in Australia, so I'll get that done. Pardon me. Yesterday in the rain I decided to spend a bit of time in my little hoochie scanning, and the books Jeff Parsons gave me, they're done now. I got the chamber. Took me 4 times to get that Chamberlain one in the right place, right position, all that, but it's on there now. So on the Bundy Bear shed site, and there was he gave us a Massey Ferguson 531 finger bar mower book, so it's scanned on there. And all the Chamby stuff's done now, it's finished. The other things I got scanned on yesterday was Massey Harris 55 and 55K parts, and a Massey Ferguson 55 series operators. So the operators are sort of like back in the day the operators books had a few more mechanical things in them on how to do this and that. So so the Massey Harris 55 stuff's done. I'll probably, depending on what the weather's like today, the clouds are starting to come up there, I see now. So I might get on top of some of that. Doesn't matter where I look, there's mess. It's just bloody untidy at the moment. Well, it's untidy all the time, but it's just extra worse at the moment, extra bad. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so through the week, yeah, we were looking at buying, because of me dicky knees, we were looking at buying a couple of push bikes to chuck on the camping gear, and we got one up just to have a look at, and Jude's having that one. She reckons she can work with that. I might just use my old green bike I have out the front here, but those brackets I bought for the camper trailer, over the next few days, I hope, I bought the aluminium to put a frame on there so we can just pop the bikes on top, and when we go to a country area or there's a walk along a river or something, well, we can just go for a little tootle on the bikes, or you get to a town and there's a memorial walk or something like that, we can grab the pushies and do a little bit. Yeah, I found when we were away, I could get around all right, but I didn't tackle, if something was like 1 kilometre away, I didn't bother with that. So I've got the work boots back on again now instead of the thongs to see how my knees go. Well, it seems to fire the right knee up a little bit. But anyway, I'm just going to try and work through that and see how we go. But yeah, it should be a good day, nice and cool. Hopefully I can get some stuff done. But if I don't get much done in the shed here, which I'm pretty sure I probably won't get much done, I do need to get these books scanned so I can give them back. They're not mine to keep, so I probably should go and deal with that and do the right thing by young Indy and get his books back to him. It was good to have the opportunity to have them. I do have a copy of a workshop manual that I got off the Friends of Ferguson Heritage, Jason Hare. I paid for it and everything, but Jason was kind enough to arrange for me to have it, to get it here. So I've done nothing on the 65, even the Massey 20. I've got shit ready to go, but it's just when we have these shows coming up, well, we just got to get the stuff ready, and the engine's ready for the club pretty well, but just tidying up, and tidying up can take a day or two. The little baler, I was hoping to have a play with that today, but if it's wet, I'm not going to. We'll just see what happens there as well. We're trying to get to the Bundy show with it, and I've been talking to Peter, my mate, and his daughter. Peter's in the club with us, and his daughter is on the show committee up there, so they'll probably supply a couple of bales of hay for it, and yeah, we'll see if we can knock out some little bales. So if I don't get it done before, but I do want to test it before I take it up there, but there's no use going testing in the rain and getting all your hay damp and mouldy and things like that. So and I don't really want to do it inside, because you make a mess. You end up with little bits of hay all around all around you, where if it's outside on the grass it doesn't matter so much. So we'll see what happens. But look, that's about it. Nothing too exciting happening. Yeah, I'm trying to work on a bit of a clean up, but I got junk everywhere. Oh, the Sparex rep, Caleb, he's moving on. He's going back to New Zealand. He got offered a job, and yeah, Sparex wanted to keep him and offered him a counter offer sort of thing to keep him, but he's made his decision to go back over to New Zealand, and he was explaining, you know, the financial benefits of it, and yeah, look, why wouldn't you, a young bloke. So we're going to have they're not going to replace my Sparex rep this year. James is one of the Australian bosses now. I think he's the boss, anyway, I think he is, in Queensland at least. He's going to take over the role, and which is fine by me. James was my rep for years, and so we have someone we can deal with there, and that'll be good. So yeah, come the new month we'll pop in another order for a roof for their forklift and things like that, so we'll see how we go. Oh, the roof in the house, the rental house at Tim and Ali's, it's leaking a bit, so we've got a bloke looking at that, and yeah, see how all that goes. But anyway, look, thanks for dropping by. I'll keep the camera in hand, and if I get up to anything exciting, I'll show you. I'll show you what I've done to the engine, and we'll talk to you next week, eh? See ya. Okay, over at the engine here, this thread in here, it was loose in the head, and this muffler kept wanting to turn over, or you know, just drop to the side. So I've fixed that up. There was a water leak in here. I've got a fair bit of touch-up paint to do. There was a leak under here where I'd forgotten to seal the fitting, and one up there, a new piece of hose here. There's a little bit of tube under the pipe, up the pipe, to slow that down. The crank handle there has been painted. What else did we do here? Oh, the spring on the fuel pump, I repainted that. I've had this plate off to have a look at the bottom end, but I'm going to leave that as is, I believe. But the next thing I'm doing with it is we're going to give it a run, and if everything's okay, we'll touch all the paint up. Now, on the bottom here, down the front, you can see what they've got here, and when you go to push, it wants to ride up, and you can see where it's hit the paint there. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe cut this off and pop a little D shackle on each side. Yeah, I think that would help fix that. But yeah, I'm nearly done there, and I'd like to give it back to the club. The 135 in the background, it's ready. It's as ready as it's ever going to be for that show on the, I think it's 18th of May, and I'm hoping to give this to the club to use, and I'll probably take it home again. We'll just see what happens. Yeah, we'll go from there. And look, we have sunshine. So, a few clouds. I reckon this morning, late morning, we might get a bit more rain coming, but the paddock's lovely and green. It's early in the morning. I've got to get on to Rob and Nick. I'll keep the pallets for them, but I'll have to see if they can come and get some. But yeah, the place is looking lovely and green. The orchard's nice and green. So yeah, certainly something that we needed. But yeah, I suppose I'll have to get the lawnmower going by the look of that.